want to say that I'm so sorry. Only people are getting attacked. The children. They don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
Y'all, when I first seen this video of Selena Gomez up here crying, I said, one, it's so weird to me, and I get it if you were talking about something and then you began to tear up, right? But for you to be crying, use my little charger. But for you to be like, I'm just crying right now. Okay, let me make sure that it looks good. Okay, it's just that angle. I just, girl, right now. Okay, let's not. All right, let's just please not do that. Okay, that was completely unnecessary, a little odd, because it's like, why are you doing all this? And what is this for? Because of the mass deportations that Trump has been saying that he was gonna do. I mean, he was saying, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So you already had Trump who was saying this stuff when he was president the first time. Y'all still came. Y'all still did what y'all did. You saw that Biden was in. Y'all all in the millions, tens of millions was coming over the border.
Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. This is open border policies that they continue. This is the disaster that the Biden administration has created. People migrating to this particular route, a disastrous route where people are risking their lives. They're paying the cartel in Coakley $320 to $340 of a package to get in through these routes that is Turbo, Candica, Purganá. We saw the non-governmental organization by the name of Hayas that they're promoting detention centers in Coakley, and in the map they're telling you where to enter Turbo, Candica, Purganá. They're part of it. They're part of this disaster. Their incentive to put people like this. Look at this. This is a complete disaster. It's a crimes against humanity. Not only directed to Alejandro Mayorkas, not only you should be impeached, but this is a collateral damage that you have caused. People migrating through a jungle. This is not supposed to be a route. Darien, it is not a route. I understand that. And this is look at this disaster. Look at this, children, women. And not only that, far away from here, natives operate, cartel operates in the jungle.
So you had all that going on. And you say you don't know what you could have done. I want to help. You don't know. I'm sorry. Now, I was on Twitter when I seen this video. I said, what? And then someone said, well, she's a billionaire. So what do you mean? I said, Selena Gomez? How is she a billionaire? When did this happen? I said, no way, Jose. $1.3 billion. The 32-year-old actress, singer, investor, and entrepreneur just achieved the financial milestone, thus making her one of the youngest self-made billionaires in the United States, according to Bloomberg. $1.3 billion. So when I go and hear that, this right here is what I saw, and the image, the video was perfect. Selena Gomez's net worth is over $1 billion. And she took to IG to film herself fake crying for illegal Mexican immigrants, even though immigrants of whatever your race is, whatever your nationality is, y'all illegal are getting deported. Okay, so she's making it seem like it's only Mexicans. They're like, okay, which one of y'all? Let me hear the accent. They're doing, it doesn't, the country of origin don't matter. it's whoever is here, we gonna get them, okay? And we know they ain't gonna get everybody, but because it's just too many people and some bias. But at the end of the day, it's not just Mexicans. What are we talking about here? She should move them into her home, pay for their return, put that image of her house up. I said, this isn't real. Because when I first seen it, I said, this is a drawing. Where's her actual house? And then I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this is her actual house. So this lady says, and help them become legal American citizens. So this is the thing that gets me. You knew this was going to happen for years. Yeah, your own people who voted for this to happen. Nothing. I didn't see anything going viral of her crying saying, how come you guys voted that way? And then you're saying, oh, well, my Mexican people, I don't know. And the children, they made it seem like, like she made it seem like it was like execution style or something. Like, okay, let's get them up and let's line them up. What are you talking about? They're the children, y'all. What do you think they're doing? You think they're just, okay, let me go, beat you a couple times and drag you by your pinky toe? I mean, what are you... I'm like, what do you think is happening? So to me, I was just like, what? And yes, I'm fully aware that ICE has been going to, well, they said it was Secret Service, so I don't know about that one. But you do have ICE agents that are going to people's doors, knocking on them and saying, hey, are you blah, blah, blah? You gotta go. You know what I mean? And yes, I am aware with the children as well, but you don't come into a country illegally. So I was actually curious earlier today, and then I'll continue. I was actually curious earlier today. I was like, I've always wanted to go to Russia. What does it look like if I wanted to go, right? You would think like with other countries, oh, well, you could just go ahead and, you just got to make sure you have your passport. And depending on the country, you may need a visa. They'll say like if you're staying anything more than a month or 3 months, usually it's like 90 days, but it depends on where you're going. You need a visa, right? Y'all, Russia, you ain't just getting in and out. Okay, so you need your passport. I'm gonna just pull it up because I wrote it down. Because I was like, what? Are you kidding me? This is the stuff you need? Y'all, it was a lot written up in here. I'm like, okay. It was a lot. All right, so I wrote it down. So it said that you need obviously your passport. You need an entry and exit visa. You also need an invitation by a sponsor. So for me, it'll be a hotel where they're saying this person will be here, from this date to this date, essentially is what's going on as well. All right. As I mentioned, you need the exit visa. That's what it is. You need a migration card. So I believe you can actually get that one from the airport. Yeah, I believe the migration card you get from the airport, but it's important that you keep it because if you lose it or it gets stolen, okay, that's on you. And they said the officials are not holding your hand, so you better just know that you're supposed to get it because ain't nobody reminding you over there. Okay, so you need that. And then you need a visa registration. Okay, it will behoove you. It says travelers spending more than 7 days. I don't care if it's 6 days. You better get that. Okay. And it says the top and bottom portion. Top portion is longer. That is what the hotel, I believe, has. And then, or, whoever your sponsor is. And then the bottom portion is you. And then you got to make sure that when you're about to leave that you hand that over. Okay. So I was like, that's extensive. So let me just go back because I didn't name them all. All right. So for it, You need your passport, entry visa, exit visa. Make sure you have your sponsor or you cannot go. Migrant card or migration card. And you also want to register your visa. Now, if America went and said, you need a passport, and I don't have that, okay, 50% of y'all can't get in. We need an entry visa and an exit visa. Unless you got one of these other kind of visas too. Student visa, but I'm just talking about tourists or something like that. Because y'all didn't have anything. Okay. Sponsor, where y'all gonna stay? We just gonna come into another country and hope and expect some housing? Is that what we're doing? Yo, I've been for Russia, they also have a thing. So let's say you have a layover, right? And then you gotta go and swap planes, right? They were saying it's like when you're en route, there's a certain visa you gotta have for that. They're like, you ain't gonna just come on our soil and not pay up. I mean, you gotta show something. I mean, we ain't just gonna be letting anybody. I don't care if you're staying at the airport. If you have to pass through and you gotta stay here, I need to see some papers. And yes, Russian authorities, yes, when you are walking out, let's say you're over there and you're walking out, you're an American and yada yada yada, they can legally stop you if you don't look like you're from there. Like, you look like me, they're gonna look and be like, you ain't Russian. Let me see some dang papers. And you must be carrying your passport, your visas, your migration card. Okay? Because they're going to ask, especially if you don't look like you're supposed to be over there anyways. If they look at you like, okay? It's not a guarantee that they'll do it, but it's something that you don't want to play with or tempt. You know, if you know that you're supposed to have it, If you're trying to go to a restricted section over there, certain, border areas, certain towns, you got to have a certain verification kind of visa going on. Okay. We can't just, I just want to see. No. Okay. No. I need to know that you actually gonna be doing something. I need to know where you gonna be. Okay. So they're not gonna just be giving it to you. You gotta show like, okay, what business do you have over here? And if you follow all these things, it's less likely you can have an issue in regards to that. So everything's laid out. You go on the U.S. embassy site or whatever for whatever country you're looking at. You could go and find all this kind of information now. So how come now you see how I wrapped it around? How come these people weren't doing that? And were you also crying when a whole bunch of Americans said, yo, our tax dollars, I barely make enough money. I make $50,000 a year and I got to pay all this money in taxes. Yeah, our school is crap. Our kids are eating crap. Our health insurance is crap. Our pay is crap. No UBI, no federally mandated holiday, none of this kind of stuff. But and I'm struggling, but these people are getting housing. They're getting 3 meals a day.
Things you are doing is an experimental program to provide debit cards with cash on the card. This has created an enormous controversy in the city among some taxpayers who say, why are we paying and giving out this money to these migrants? And isn't this only going to encourage more migrants to come to New York?
And the reason it's created such controversy is because how it has been reported and distorted. Here's what we're doing. We are required to feed migrants and asylum seekers as well as everyone else in our homeless system. About 40,000 are in the homeless system that are not migrant and asylum seekers. We're required to feed them. And so what I told the team to do is we have to find a way to do it that's less costly, because we want a 30% decrease in the cost of the migrant crisis, and that we don't have food waste. We were able to do that. We're saving approximately $600,000 a month, $7.2 million a year by giving individuals a card that allows them to buy food or baby supplies, spending $13 a day on food. That's cheaper, that's less food waste. This is a real win-win for us. And the money will go into the local economy because now we go into the local stores, supermarkets, where we're going to hire local. This is a smart way to bring down the cost and replace the money back into our
rent here.
Free. 2 years.
After 2 years, we have to pay the rent.
All right, y'all, this is Savannah Hernandez in Brunswick, Maine, reporting to you from the apartments where migrants are getting their rent paid for up to 2 years. Now, I wanted to give you guys a first inside look at these units. The migrants shared with us that they come furnished, so they have a flat screen TV in there, couches, tables and chairs, a bed. We also asked them as well, hey, are you paying utilities here? They shared with us that nope, they do not have a water bill, they do not have an electricity bill.
And what about the light and the water?
Everything is good. We don't pay anything.
Now, I wanted to focus in on this area of Maine because there is a housing crisis going on currently for residents, and these buildings were initially created for Maine residents, but then it was decided that homeless migrants would be living here. Now, as an American, you can rent out one of these units, but a 1-bedroom is going to run you about $1,800, and a 2-bedroom is going to run you about $2,300. By the way, the average housing price for a house over here in Brunswick is about $480,000. So there was obviously a lot of outrage when it was first discovered that migrants were going to be housed here for free on taxpayer dollar. Now, I wanted to focus in on Brunswick as well because this is the same county that has received FEMA funding from that same program that spent almost $1 billion through the fiscal year of 2023 and 2024 on sheltering illegal immigrants throughout the United States of America. By the way, FEMA coming out and saying that they have run out of that funding.
We are expecting another hurricane hitting. We do not have the funds. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
This is why I wanted to come up this way. This is why I wanted to come to Brunswick, because I wanted to show you guys a comparison of how the federal government is treating American citizens versus illegal immigrants and migrants in this country. This is how migrants up in Maine, up in Brunswick are living. We also went to Bangor, we went to Lewiston, and there are African migrants who share with us that they really like it over here, that they've been treated very well. We spoke to Catholic Charities who told us that they are expecting more migrants. They're actually bringing more migrants up this way.
Yeah, so we're expecting up to 150 refugees starting yesterday until September 30th, which is the fiscal year. And then we also have walk-in clients, which will increase those numbers. Generally for refugees that we know are coming, we help them get set up with an apartment, but we're always looking for like other landlords to work with as well for apartments.
So I wanted to give you guys an idea of what was going on in Maine, the uppermost corners of the United States of America, where you wouldn't expect there to be migrants. This is a direct result of the open border, the illegal immigration crisis that has been allowed to prosper over the past 3-4 years, and it's stretching to even areas of America that you wouldn't expect.
Like, well, if you're taking care of all their basic needs, getting them clothes, getting them food, making sure they're drinking something, making sure they got a roof over their head, then what's the incentive to work? Would you work if someone was giving you $5,000 a month in perpetuity? Let's just say, right? Because that would be equivalent to a regular person's expenses, and then you have a whole bunch of money to save, okay? But let's go and say you're paying. Let's just say that the government gives you $5,000 a month. Are you gonna be like, oh, let me get up and go to work? It's like, nah. If it's in perpetuity, I'ma just chill, right? Pick up a hobby, whatever. But you're not gonna work for the man. You're not gonna do that. Why would you do that? What would be the point in doing that? Not unless you, like, let's say you're a veterinarian or something and you just have a passion for this. But no one's like, oh, let me get up and go to this warehouse job. Let me go ahead and go to this fast food joint I gotta work at. You would say no. So what incentive did you have? So you weren't working because you were getting handouts. Now these are we talking about some handouts. These are handouts. You weren't working, you're getting all these handouts and all this other stuff. And then I'm like, okay, so you have no incentive to work, so what are you doing? Well, we'll just chill out. None of y'all put any papers in. And then people got outraged, which I can see, but at the same time, I'm like, where you have people who were coming the legal way and they had their appointment for the next day, right? And then Trump, on his first day, he was, we cutting that off. Nobody else is coming up in here. Okay. That's what he was saying. He was like, no. No one else is coming up in here. All right. So I didn't agree with that. I didn't think that was right, especially since they are doing it the legal way. But it has gotten to a point, and I could see it, where it's at a point of, we can't just keep letting everybody in now. We got to have some kind of control. Oh, well, and you have some people who think you had 4 years to do it. You could have came in with everybody else, but you didn't do that. Okay. So you have a whole bunch that's going on in regards to this. I just say, yo, come the legal way. I mean, I can't believe, it's ridiculous to me. And I know people go and talk about like, oh, but the food will go up. The food has been going up. When all of them were in the fields, when all of them were outside building houses, the price of lumber went up. And it wasn't because people were getting deported. Okay, so you know what I mean? I just look at it and I'm like, y'all, you getting up here crying, and I'm just looking like, really? You up here crying? Well, did you cry for the people that got murdered too? No, we didn't cry for them. You're a billionaire. Why didn't you pay for everyone's attorney fees? You could have, you and some other, homies, homegirls, viewers too. Y'all could have put all the money together and paid for some attorney fees, right? And you saw that they were here and you knew that they were in some kind of community center, school, or something like that. Why didn't you get on your private jet and fly around and go and say, hey, all your stuff is on me. Whatever the duration is, I'll take care of this. I'll take care of these people up in here. I'll take 2-3 shelters. You didn't do any of that? No offering of legal services at all? How about, you do have a house, y'all, a mansion. I thought it was fake. I said, this looks like a drawing. I said, this can't be real. Y'all, I said, oh my goodness. $1.3 billion. Oh, I can't do anything. You could have just said, hey, can everybody put in their papers and then I'll pay for postage? Let's get them sent out so we could be legal. Do it immediately. What are we in 2025? Do it in 24. In 2020. Hey, y'all, I'm going to go and help y'all out. I'm going to pay for the postage and all that. Just sign all that stuff. And then by now, you should have something. What kind of job were you guys having too? You saying you want a visa, green card, trying to get citizenship as well. And I mean, you would have had to get citizenship, but you got to do something. I don't think it's fair for you to get citizenship and you just living on tax dollars for years.
Listening to a lady in Chicago, a principal of a school in Chicago, talking about how they didn't work with ICE and didn't allow ICE to come in and get the students, and how the teachers followed protocol, and how they are just congratulating the teachers and the staff in Chicago for not allowing ICE to come in and get these illegals. So all are going to allow some illegals, and the lady who was speaking, she was probably illegal because she sounded like she wasn't from here. You all are going to allow some illegals to come over here and bring their culture over here, come over here illegally, and then tell you what your protocol is and your rights. In Chicago, if a federal agent was coming to get your kid, your mama, your father, your brother, if a federal agent was coming in to Chicago to get your kid because your butt committed a crime, what's Chicago going to do? What they're going to do? They're going to allow them to come in and arrest your butt. And if you try to fight them, they're going to lock your butt up or kill you. Not only that, they're going to get you for harboring and abetting and all. They're going to fine charges for you as a citizen. And you mean to tell me, you teachers and you citizens are going to allow some people to come over here and tell you how to run your city, how to run your school, and things like that. When, if it was your child, it's no way that the Chicago mayor and your aldermen and these people will protect your child and not work with the federal agents to come in and get your child if your child committed a crime.
Don't know if you've had a chance to see the video that has been going viral over the past hour or so. We're still working to clear it and show it. In fact, the Hollywood celebrity who posted it has now deleted it. I think because probably she faced a lot of backlash for it, noting even the New York Times and Fox News polls show that a majority of American respondents are in favor of deportations of criminals and gang members. She posted a video sobbing. She was crying in it. She said, "All my people are getting attacked," with the picture of a Mexican flag. Again, she has now taken that down. But what do you say to those who are out there saying that these are everyday people, these are families that are being attacked and dragged out of their homes? How do you respond to that?
I don't think we arrested any families. We've arrested public safety threats and national security threats, bottom line. And look, President Trump won the election on this one issue, securing our border and saving lives. What happened on our southern border last 4 years is the biggest national security threat this country's seen, at least in my lifetime, because we got over 2 million known gotaways. We got a 600% increase in sex trafficking. We got a record number of terrorists crossing the border on the terrorist watch list. We have 250,000 Americans die from fentanyl coming across the open border. We're going to do this job, and we're going to enforce the laws of this country. If they don't like it, then go to Congress and change the law. We're going to do this operational apology. We're going to make our community safer. We're going to save. Once we lock that border on continuous operation, you're going to see fentanyl deaths decrease, illegal alien crime decrease, sex trafficking decrease. It's just all for the good of this nation, and we're going to keep going. No apologies. We're moving forward.
Woo! He said, I'm not playing with you. He was like, And, I agree too. Now, he did say with the illegals, he said the criminals and gangbangers and those kind of people is who he was referring to. From what Trump said, and you can only go by what he said, okay? He did say that he is targeting those people specifically first, okay? Now, I know we did see ICE agents, even though they said it was Secret Service. So, but we did see them at, I think it was like a high school or something like that. So, it seems like they may just be making their rounds. I have seen it where it was Walmart. They said it usually is like packed and there was like hardly any people there, in this particular area. And then you have like construction workers and like different fields where, you get your food and whatnot. So, you're seeing a lot of it. And, to me, I just feel like this, as I've said, and I can say it again, just come here legally. She's making this big fuss and, oh, you could have gotten your people out just like him with the fires. You could have done more. Okay, you're a billionaire. You had some people money. Okay, you can't. Most people were like the guy said, are okay with this. So you being like, oh, but my fans, come on, you can't be okay with it. And they're like, no, man, I'm okay with it. All right, but this video is longer than what I needed to be. I'm rambling. So let me know what you think down below.